A vocation is a call to do something in the world, and we are all called to do different things. A religious brother is a member of a Catholic religious institute who commits himself to following Christ in consecrated life of the Church, usually by the vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience. The Dominican order was formed and founded by St. Dominic and St. Francis of Assisi. What is a Dominican friar? What do Dominican friars do?
The work of friars takes many forms, as Dominican men try to respond to the particular needs of the Church of the United States. Dominican friars staff parishes and participate in campus ministries at both secular and Catholic schools of higher education. They are engaged in various forms of the preaching apostolate, such as specialized retreats, missions, and workshops. They published, are chaplains to hospitals and covenants, and have missionaries in various places around the world.
Different forms of prayer.
First, we use the Rosary. For centuries, the Order of Preachers has promoted the Rosary among the faithful, helping establish the Rosary Confraternity and prayer groups around the world. Every day, Dominicans recite at least 5 decades, fostering devotion to the Blessed Virgin Mary and asking for her intercession. As we pray and meditate on the words and actions of Christ and His Mother, we reflect on the mystery of salvation and our mission to proclaim the good news. Next, we have private prayer. In addition to our prayer in common and hours of study, Dominicans spend at least half an hour in private meditation each day, usually more. This period of mental prayer often occurs during adoration before the Blessed Sacrament, but may be done at any time. It is an opportunity for Lectio Divina, spiritual reading, silent reflection, or other devotions. Still another feature of Dominican prayer is its use of the body. The Eucharistic liturgy, with its delicate blend of movement and gesture, engages the whole person in worship. Dominic incorporated these gestures, standing, bowing, sitting, genuflecting, kneeling, raising his arms, into his private prayer, developing what we commonly refer to as the 9 ways. Members of the Order of Preachers continue this tradition today, enriching our common and private
Explaining the evangelical councils and their relation to the Dominican friars.
Obedience is preeminent among the vows relevant to the evangelical councils. By obedience, a person dedicates himself totally to God, and his actions approximate to the goal of profession, which is the perfection of charity. Everything else, too, in the apostolic life is included under obedience. Since we are united to Christ and to the Church through obedience, whatever labor and hardship we sustain in putting it into practice is, as it were, a prolongation of Christ's self-offering. It takes on a sacrificial character for ourselves and for the Church, in whose completion the entire work of creation is perfected. Because obedience plants the root of self-discipline in our hearts, it is of the greatest benefit to the freedom of spirit characteristic of the children of God, and disposes us to self-giving charity. The brothers who promise chastity for the sake of the kingdom of heaven follow in the footsteps of St. Dominic, who for the love of God preserved unblemished virginity throughout his life. Dominic was so much on fire with zeal for souls that he received all in a broad embrace of charity, and since he loved them all, he was loved by all in return, spending himself fully in the service of his neighbor and with compassion for the afflicted. The practice of chastity leads effectively to a gradual purification of heart, to liberty of soul and fervent charity. Furthermore, we gain greater command of soul and body and achieve a personal integrity which enables us to maintain a tranquil and salutary relationship with everybody. Keeping in mind the words of the Lord who said, "Go sell what you have and give to the poor, and come follow me," we have decided to be poor both in fact and in spirit, so that we will endeavor to free people from domination by wealth and direct them towards the things of the Spirit. We ourselves may also conquer greed, imitating Christ, who for our sake became poor, that his poverty we might become rich.